Welcome to the Full Nelson. Today I'm going to be reviewing my Christensen Arms Modern Precision Rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. I have two of these rifles. One's in 6.5 Creedmoor and the other one is in 300 Win Mag. Anybody who follows my channel knows I had some problems with the 300 Win Mag, and I still do. I'll be making a video about that later. Hopefully after I get some of that resolved or sorted out. But I want to talk specifically about this rifle and the design of it, what I like about it, what I don't, some suggestions to improve it. So the things I like about it, I like the design philosophy behind it, which to me was to essentially give you the features of a full-blown chassis or a full-blown precision rifle in a lightweight rifle that can be used for hunting. Basically take all the features of a precision rifle and knock off, you know, 4 pounds or 6 pounds or whatever. And this, in my case, probably about 6 pounds compared to some of my other long-range rifles that I had. So I like the concept behind that. Now, some people are going to look at that and say, well, wait a minute, that means I can basically get a precision rifle that doesn't weigh anything. Yes and no. If you're wanting to use this as a PRS rifle, this is a terrible choice for a PRS rifle. There's a reason why guys started out in PRS using 14-pound rifles, and now they're using 20-pound rifles and 24-pound rifles. And the reason they're doing that is because recoil is a big part of the game and being able to spot your impacts, and those heavier rifles make it all that much easier. And then they've got all these features to be able to attach all these things so that they can rest them on virtually anything and all that kind of stuff. This is not a good choice in a rifle for a precision, for a PRS match rifle. It's just not. So if that's what you're looking for, don't buy it for that. Now, if you're a guy that likes shooting PRS, or you're a guy that likes long range shooting or precision shooting, and you're familiar with using a chassis and you think, man, I really like that type of shooting, but I just hate the weight. I can't take those guns hunting. They suck to pack all over the place, and I want a gun I can shoot better freehand. This is the rifle for you. That's why I bought this rifle. That's why I own two of these rifles, is I wanted something that would give me the same type of functionality of a full-blown precision rifle chassis and a precision rifle, but at a fraction of the weight. So anyway, I like that about this rifle. So the ability to shoot it freehand is excellent. You shoot it no problem because of the balance of the rifle with the carbon fiber handguard and carbon fiber wrapped barrel. The rifle balances very well freehand. I can also shoot it in the prone, no problem. Now, it's not going to be quite as stable as a rifle that weighs, 16, 18 pounds. This rifle with optics and everything is probably about 10 pounds. And actually, I think it's a little under that. I think it's 9 pounds something. Anyway, it's not going to be quite as stable as a heavy rifle, but it is still extremely stable. I've had no trouble shooting this at long range. So, yeah, that's great with this. One of the things I like about this rifle. Now, I want to talk about some of the areas of improvement that I think they could implement for this rifle that I would like to see, and some things to watch out for if you end up buying one of these. That will be more in my 300 Win Mag video than this video. But so some areas for improvement. The grip that comes on this rifle is an abomination. That little itty bitty skinny grip, and I think they were thinking, well, we want to keep the rifle as light as possible, so we'll use this really lightweight grip. Well, your grip on your rifle is dramatically going to impact your ability to shoot that rifle accurately. And if you've got larger hands, or even if you have relatively small hands, the grip that comes on this is so small and so skinny and so unergonomic, you're going to have a difficult time indexing the rifle and getting the most out of it with a grip like that, in my opinion. And I think that's something they need to change. I don't think you got to put a $40 grip on it, but you could put, like Magpul's MOE grip. Their normal MOE would have been a huge improvement over that MOE K grip or whatever it is, their slim grip. That thing is pretty awful for precision shooting. So I don't like the grip on it. That might just be my personal preference, but I think most people are going to find, if you tried that grip and then tried a grip like this Masterpiece Arms grip or some of the other grips that are out there, you're going to find that it's way easier to be consistent with a better grip on the rifle than what they include. Now, I guess the next thing I'll talk about is something that I believe that they have fixed, because they sent me a replacement for, but you'll have to look at your particular rifles. And it's something to watch for if when you buy one of these. Now, I wouldn't hesitate to buy one over this, because in my case, they just sent me all the parts and I swapped them out and it totally solved the problem. But what we're looking at here, kind of shadowy here, so I'm going to try to turn this rifle so you can see. And I'll bring in here a little closer maybe. So if you look at this portion here of the length of pull adjustment, there's little markings and numbers and all that kind of stuff. But you undo these 2 screws here, and then this slides in and out, and then you set it where you want it, and you tighten those screws, and they index in. Now you should be able to kind of see there's grooves, okay? My 300 Win Mag came with that type of system. As you can see, this up here, this cheek rest has no grooves in it, okay? It's just smooth, it's just friction only, which for the cheek rest might be okay. I don't like that design, but whatever, it's smooth, and I'll tell you why I don't like that design. So this is what came on this, was this piece here, and it's totally smooth, and that's what came on my 6.5 Creedmoor for the length of pull adjustment. So what happens, now that I've explained that, I'll zoom this back out here. So what happens with this smooth piece is it's just relying on just the friction of the metal alone. There are no grooves, there is no anything like that holding on to this. Well, I didn't think anything of it. I did notice that there was a difference between my 300 Win Mag and my 6.5 Creedmoor when I got it, but I didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, maybe they changed the design, you know, whatever. Well, when I started shooting this rifle out at Lost River the other day, this started sliding. I thought, I'm pretty sure I had that pretty tight. And it's a 6.5 Creedmoor. It's got a brake on it, relatively little recoil. I put quite a few rounds through the rifle, but the rifle started walking. The length of pull adjustment started creeping in like this. And before I knew it, like my eye relief and everything was all messed up. And I'm like, what is going on here? And I was just scratching my head. And I thought, man, this sure seems uncomfortable behind this thing. I thought I had it all set right. And then I noticed that my length of pull adjustment had walked on me. So I loosened it up, put it back where I wanted it, tightened it back down with Loctite and everything, waited for it to cure. Went out the next day and tapped it on the buttstock. Picked up the rifle, went dunk, 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 and tapped it on the concrete just to see if it would move. Well, I shouldn't say tapped it. I mean, I wasn't tapping it. I thumped it hard enough to see, like, would this move? Like, if if a guy dropped his hunting rifle or something like that, what's going to happen? But anyway, I thumped it, it moved. I thought, great. So I moved it back out, tightened it back down again. Then I just took my bare hand and went whack, whack, and started smacking it on the back pretty hard to see if I could get it to move. I could get it to move. So I reached out to Christensen Arms, explained the problem. They sent me a new part, totally fixes the problem. So I think that was a design oversight. I think they fixed that, hopefully. I hope they're not shipping the short action still with this system. This is terrible. I hope they've just changed it for all of them. I know my 300 Win Mag had this, and I'm hoping they didn't just do the long action or the heavy recoiling guns with this and assume the lighter recoil wouldn't need it. All of them need it. They should all have that. That length, this should be as solid as you can get it from, the tip of the gun to the tail of the gun. It should be that way. So that's something I noticed. They fixed it, took care of it. Good on them. Haven't had a problem with it since, and I doubt I will because this design's a really good design. I wish they'd do that with the cheek piece too because it's smooth, but then again, your cheek piece isn't something when recoil, it's just sliding back and forth against your cheek. It's not like it's taking direct impact the way the buttstock's going to be taken to where it would have a tendency to do that. So I don't foresee there necessarily being a problem with this. I still think it would be better to implement their groove design here because then there's no possibility of a problem. Anyway, that's something I've experienced with it. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is with this cheek piece here. And what I have encountered with this rifle is with this cheek piece, when I run my length of pull out, because this cheek piece is so far forward, and it's probably to accommodate the cutie cups and whatever, but this thing bites me in the face. With this, and you can't, you can see a blank screw there. That's because I've moved this about an inch back. I undid it. There were 3 screws holding it, all 3 in a row here, and the tail of this was actually up here where this screw heads at, and it was biting me in the face. And I could not put my head forward far enough or whatever to get that not to bite me, but I needed the length of pull for my arm and everything else to index the trigger properly. I needed this length of pull. Well, that was biting me on the face when I had it adjusted the way it needed to be for the length of pull for other reasons. So what I did is took all the screws out, moved it back, only put 2 in, and that gave me an extra inch. That made all the difference in the world as far as comfort. Now I don't have any problems with it, so if you're running into that, you can move it yourself. What do I think Christensen Arms should do about it? Make the carbon fiber piece for the cheek rest longer, make it to where it sits about where this one sits. That still allows you to access the QD cup, and it doesn't bite your face. Maybe even make, or just take the current existing cheek pieces and put an additional hole in it. Put another hole right here. Then the person can make that cheek piece walk forward or back an inch. Problem solved. You don't even have to remake a new part. All you got to do is put an extra hole in the cheek piece. So that's what I encountered with that. I'm sure I am not the only one to have experienced that. But anyway, so those are some of the quirks that I've noticed with the rifle. But overall, the rifle is a superb rifle. It does everything I wanted it to do. I am very pleased with the 6.5 Creedmoor variant. As far as the performance of the rifle, extraction-wise, bolt timing-wise, I mentioned on my 300 Win Mag that it had some problems that way. This rifle does not. The bolt timing is superb. The extraction is good, which on my 300 Win Mag, it extracts good. The bolt timing still isn't as good as it ought to be, but it does extract fine. I haven't had any issues that way. The accuracy of this rifle is also excellent. It groups, I would say, about a ½ inch. And if it were in the hands of a better shooter or better reloader or whatever, I'm sure it would be even better than that. But I can take this rifle out and I have absolute confidence that that round is going exactly where I put the crosshairs every time I pull the trigger. It shoots very well. So I am pleased with it, and in all of those different ways. Anyway, I think it's an excellent rifle. There are some things to be aware of when you get one. Like I've mentioned, pay attention to the bolt timing. Pay attention to the buttstock thing and make sure that yours has the right thing on it. If it doesn't, reach out to Christensen Arms and get them to put the right thing on your rifle. Those are some of the things I would be paying attention to. I've heard some people having extraction issues or whatever. If you have any issues that way, get it resolved. I haven't had any issues with this gun at all. I think the short actions, and I found this not just with Christensen Arms, but I found it with Remington and other companies using Remington pattern or Remington type design, that a lot of them seem to do, for whatever reason, it seems to be easier to put together a short action than a long action rifle. I almost never encounter problems with the short action rifles, but the long action rifles, I've seen a lot of them, whether it's Christensen Arms, Remington, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. So those are some things to pay attention to if you're in the market for one. I love this rifle. I highly recommend the 6.5 Creedmoor variant. I also recommend doing business with Christensen Arms. They've been a great company to deal with thus far. Obviously, if anything changes or whatever, I'll update that. And I've still got some things to work out with my 300 Win Mag. I'll let you know what happens with that, and hopefully I get that rifle to where it needs to be, and then I'll be just as pleased with it. But this rifle, the way it came, was pretty much good to go, other than this length of pull thing and needing to slide the cheek piece back a little bit further for me, needing a longer length of pull. So anyway, well, that concludes my review for the Christensen Arms Modern Precision Rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.